I got some great news. This is the last section in this chapter. So, equations in which radical expressions include variables are known as radical equations. To solve radical equations, the first step is to isolate the radical on one side of the equation. Then raise each side of the equation to the proper power to eliminate the radical expression. The process of raising each side of an equation to a power sometimes produces extraneous solutions. These are solutions that do not satisfy the original equation. Therefore, it's important to check all possible solutions in the original equation to determine if any of them should be eliminated from the solution set. So, check your work. It is very, very important when you're solving this type of problem that you have to check your work. Otherwise, you may end up with extraneous solutions. All right. So, solve x equals the square root of x plus 7 plus 5. So, what we need to do is we need to move this 5 over. Before we can square everything, we need to get this square root by itself. This is going to be x minus 5 equals the square root of x plus 7. Now, we're going to square both sides. And for the right-hand side, that makes the square root go away, and this is just x plus 7. For the left-hand side, you have to FOIL. If I see somebody that just makes this, x squared plus 25, no, that is wrong. You have to FOIL. So x minus 5 times x minus 5. You FOIL this. You're going to get x squared minus 5x minus another 5x is minus 10x plus 25 equals x plus 7. We're going to subtract x from both sides, and we're going to subtract 7 from both sides so that we get one side of this equation equal to 0. And this is x squared minus 11x plus, what is that, 18. Now we have a quadratic and we can solve it. This one should factor. Yes, this factors into x minus 9 and x minus 2. Set each of those parts equal to 0. And we get 2 answers. Now, go back and put them into the equation. 9 equals the square root of 9 plus 7 plus 5. That is true. That is not true. So x equals 2 is an extraneous solution. The only solution that we have is x equals 9. On your test, if you don't eliminate the extraneous solutions, I will mark it wrong. Okay. 4 equals the cube root of x plus 2 plus 8. Minus 8 from both sides. Negative 4 equals the cube root of x plus 2. To undo a cube root, we're going to cube it. So negative 4 cubed is negative 64. Subtract 2. And subtract 2. And that's negative 66 equals x. Check your answer. 66 plus 2 plus 8, which is negative 64, cube root, plus 8, which is negative 4 plus 8, which does equal 4. So here, when we have the square root on both sides, if it was just the square roots on both sides, we'd just square both sides and square roots go away. The problem is going to be this minus 5. It's going to give us a little bit of trouble. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and square both sides. And so this just becomes x plus 10. What we have to do here is we have to FOIL this. 5 minus square root of 3 minus x. So we have to FOIL this. And so that's going to be 5 times 5 is 25, minus 5 square root of 3 minus x, minus 5 times square root of 3 minus x is minus 10 square root of 3 minus x. And then the minus square root of 3 minus x and the minus square root of 3 minus x make a plus 3 minus x. So combine all their like terms. 25 plus 3 is 28, minus x minus 10 square root of 3 minus x. We're going to move all of the not square root terms over to the other side. So we're going to add x to both sides. And we're going to subtract 28 from both sides. And we get 2x minus 18 equals negative 10 square root of 3 minus x. Now we're going to, we're going to square both sides again. And so we FOIL this. Two x times 2x is 4x. Negative 18 times 2 was a minus 36x. And another minus 36x is a minus 72x. Negative 18 times negative 18 is 324. Minus 324 equals 100 times 3 minus x. Up here, 4x squared minus 72x plus 324, distribute the 100, is 300 minus 100x. We're going to add 100x to both sides. And we're going to subtract 300. And that's 4x squared plus 28x plus 24 equals 0. Simplify this, we'll go through and divide this all by 4. And so this will be x squared plus 7x plus 6. And that factors into x plus 6 and x plus 1. Which means that x equals negative 6 or x equals negative 1. And then we want to try plugging these in again. So the square root of negative 6 plus 10 equals 5 minus the square root of 3 minus negative 6, which is the square root of 4. Negative 6 plus 10 is 4 equals 5 minus the square root of 9. Square root of 4 is 2. 5 minus 3 does equal 2. So that one's good. Also plug in negative 1. Square root of negative 1 plus 10 equals 5 minus the square root of 3 minus negative 1. So square root of 9 equals 5 minus the square root of 4. 3 equals 5 minus 2. That is also true. Both of these are solutions. We can do the inequalities the same way. So square both sides. 4x plus 5 is less than or equal to 100. 95. For x is less than or equal to 95. Divide by 4. X is less than or equal to whatever 95 over 4 is. So in order to test this one, what we want to do is we want to pick some points that are greater than 95 over 4 and some point that is less than 95 over 4. So, sorry about that. My cat thinks it's time for dinner. So 95 over 4 is going to be 20, a little bit, was it 23 point something? 23.75 or something like that. So if we pick a number that's less than that, like 20, and a number that's greater than that, like 25, our answer is that x is less than or equal to 95 over 4. So that's going to be we want it to be true for the less than side and not true for the greater than side. So if we plug in 20, the square root of 4 times 20 plus 5 is the square root of 85, which is a little bit more than 9, which is indeed less than or equal to 10. If we plug in 25, the square root of 4 times 25 plus 5 is the square root of 105, which is not less than or equal to 10, which is what we want. So, x less than or equal to 95 over 4 is our answer. And that's it. That's the end of the chapter. I have to go feed my cat now.